Jenny, Jenny, tell us about this place that you're taking us into.
Well, this place is called the Confucius Mansion, and this is where Confucius's family lived over the centuries. My father-in-law has lived in here with a man called Cheng. Originally, he was the leader of our family in the last century, around the 30s, 40s. He was called the Duke in Chinese, and he had to go to Taiwan at the time of the revolution. So my dad also left the mansion, and then since 1949 none of our family has lived here again, and it belongs to the government now. They look after it, and a lot of tourists come to visit it. Yes, I do.
Well, can I ask you this? Do you ever see a time, certainly in your lifetime, do you think that this will be returned to its rightful ownership?
Well, again, I don't foresee that, because I think most of our family are very busy just earning a living and so on now, which in the old days they didn't have to do that. So it would be really, really difficult to manage an enterprise like this. There are thousands and thousands and thousands of people coming from all over the world constantly, and the management, the upkeep and everything is very expensive, and I just don't think it would be possible. Even if they begged us to do it, I think we'd have difficulty in doing that.
But good thing is that unlike the French Revolution and like the Russian Revolution, your family weren't executed.
Yeah.
So that's a blessing in a way,
well,
isn't it?
That is true. But my in-laws and my husband did suffer a lot during the Cultural Revolution, because Confucius's family was targeted by Mao particularly. Yeah, and many people did die, and many people committed suicide because they couldn't stand the persecution. But thank God my family survived it anyway.
So how is your family accepted now in modern China?
Well, Confucius, now that China is much more open and everyone can just relax and go back to their traditional ways, so secretly people always admired Confucius, because Confucius is more or less the backbone of Chinese moral thought, and the structure of the society originally was all according to the Confucius's suggestions. So now that people have so much freedom here, which is great, they can really admire Confucius the way they truly admire him. They don't have to be afraid of being persecuted if they, before many of our family changed their surname because they were so persecuted and bullied at school and everything, like my husband was. So now that we can be proud to have the surname Confucius, everybody in China can revere Confucius as they originally did, and as they always secretly did, but they were afraid to say so. So people really admire Confucius's thoughts and wisdom, and they want to live their lives as much as possible according to it, which is quite difficult.
How are you accepted? You're obviously a British person. You've married into the Confucius family, and I've asked this question before. How are they accepting of you generally?
Well, I think everyone has their own way of thinking about it. Many people are more forward-thinking, they're more international, modern. They think that it's good to spread Confucianism throughout the world and let people know about it. So they're quite happy to have some foreigners coming into the family, like James, half and half, because he's taking the information to other countries. And the more traditional, inward-looking people are maybe not so happy about it. But we all think, most of us in the world think it's becoming more and more global society. So it's pretty natural in this day and age that might happen eventually, if it hadn't already happened, which it has. So I think some Chinese people, it's really funny. They find it really impossible when they talk to me. They try to tell me things probably I know more about it than they do. If they just meet me in here now, they don't know who I am. They want to tell me something about this place, and probably they don't even have the right information, which I already know. Then if I were to explain to them, well, the reason I know is because I've married into the family. Now my surname is Kong, and my husband is a descendant. They don't understand. It's like you spoke Greek to them. They can't take it in. It's impossible for them
You find
to...
that frustrating?
Well, it's slightly annoying because for me to be treated like I don't know anything about it, you know.
But I suppose you can understand that because they don't know who you are.
Well, they don't understand that it's possible. For to their mind, Confucius is
Only
a purely
Chinese.
Chinese
Yeah.
thing. They cannot conceive of the idea that a foreigner should be part of the family.
Yeah.
So if you say you are, they just blank. They just blank. They don't understand it. It's not that they have an opinion or a judgment. They simply think you must be saying the wrong words or something, I think. They just look like they think I've spoken something wrong in my Chinese. Got the Chinese wrong. Couldn't be that.
No, but if a Chinese person came to London and started talking about the royal family
Saying
in
they
a
were
revered way and
member
all
of
this,
the
that,
royal family.
you wouldn't automatically accept that,
Well,
would
but
you?
if they said to me, well, I married Prince Charles, you know, and now I'm the daughter-in-law of the Queen or something, I'd understand it.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
it was unusual. It might not have done, but hey, it can happen. It's not that I think they couldn't speak English properly. Anyway,
Should we go and have a look at the palace?
let's do that.
也有一个错别字，文章的章是连在一起的。纪晓岚认为孔家写的文章是中天之文章，上天之之道。
I wasn't there for the beginning. Would you mind just
Where
saying?
have our guides gone?
两个错别字连在一起的意思就是说，富贵无头，文章中天。
Julia?
Sorry, oh shit, you switched it. Do you mind just saying one sentence?
Nick, in your film.
I know, I've had all that. James, how many times have you been here?
Many times.
Yeah. I was just asking your mum, had it not been for the Cultural Revolution,